ball. Those defenders weren't close enough to him.
And the kick, which is almost irrelevant at this point, good. 34-28. An incredible comeback by the Cossacks. Oh, well, I thought we had the best game that I've seen in the 8 years of the playoffs yesterday. Brad, that wasn't nothing compared to this.
Brad DeBeer just set a record for championship game for attempted passes, 28, and believe me, Sioux Valley will never forget that 28th pass. They also have set a record for the first downs. They've had 20 first downs.
5 touchdown passes for DeBeer.
I hope that's a record.
5 touchdown passes. What a game.
It's not. I want to bet the guy that...
Wait a minute now. Hey, do you suppose maybe Matt Westbrook could run this back for a touchdown? I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, they got 6 seconds, and they'll try to kick it along the ground and skitter it along, let the clock run.
But they'll lateral it back to him.
Maybe we'll see one of those rugby plays that California pulled against.
They'll try to get it to him. You'll never see a better high school football game, I promise.
Well, you're never going to see a finish come down to this close again either. I don't think that's the last play of the game.
DeBeer with his 5th touchdown pass of the game. 2 to Van Manen, 3 to Hillerud. Oops. Saba. And it's over. Well, there's 1 second on the clock.
1 second left.
1 second left. And there is time for a play. Bonham's got a timeout. They might as well call it.
They've called it already, I believe.
They might as well call it and get out there. Dunbar.
Yep, they've called it.
I don't know if they've practiced this play, but they've got 66 yards to go. Now, they do need a touchdown to tie. Russ Morrell trotting onto the field. The diagram, what from their point of view, hopefully would be a play that would outdo what we've just seen for a finish. There is Russ Morrell, who says he's never had more fun as a coach than he's had this year with this wide-open offense he's had. There was no score after the first quarter, if you can believe that. It was 14-6 Bonham at halftime. It was 21-20 Sioux Valley after 3. It was 28-20 late in the game. Or 28-21 late in the game in favor of Bonham.
Sioux Valley just made 2 great touchdown drives. One, they went for 2 and didn't make it. And here it comes. Whoops.
And that's the ball game.
How sweet it is. Sioux Valley, the 11B champions, on a phenomenal finish.
A fantastic finish.
Yeah. You couldn't write a script any better.
The 11B champions, and I guess as a fan, as a broadcaster, thanks, guys. What a game by both teams. Whew. Even the Cavaliers will probably in 10 years say, whoa, what? That was fun. I'm sure right now they
They're
don't
not going
feel
to say
that
it now, though. Yeah, they feel they had one in their hands, and they just let it slip away on them. But it took a great pass, a great catch. And,
well, it looked like they had it. It really looked like they had it.
if I remember right, I think you gave it to them about 3:06 left in the game, didn't you?
Well, I don't know if I quite did. It was close.
Yeah, and the fun about football is you never know, as they say, it ain't over till it's over.
Well, Sioux Valley came back to score after falling behind 28-21 with 3:02 to go.
Both teams really played well.
Fourth down play.
Well, both teams really played well. They had was it
The Hill
on the drive? It was wasn't it 4th and 3 when they picked up the first before they had another chance?
Yep.
So they made plays when they had to, and that's what championship teams do.
Unofficially, DeBeer was 14 out of, wait a minute now, 19.
It worked right. That's the way it goes.
Well, you ready for this? Well, let's roll the highlights. If you missed the game, you missed a game. Bonham up 7-0 in the second quarter. Look at the one-handed catch by Matt Westbrook as that would set up the Cavaliers' second touchdown. They go up 14-0 as Brian Kozak on the 9-yard touchdown pass makes the grab right inside the pylon, 14-0. But the Cossacks would come back. Brad DeBeer, the first of 5 touchdown passes. Well, that actually set up the touchdown. Curtis Hillerud, the man of the night. Great catch, set up the score as DeBeer goes to Van Manen. You just heard from Paul. That's the first of 5 touchdown passes, 14-6 at halftime. And there was a ton more to come. Believe me, they continue their comeback. When DeBeer goes to Hillerud, 21 yards, and the Cossacks would tie it up. But back comes Bonham. Tim Saba caps off a 10-play drive, 20-14 with that touchdown. Late in the third, Sioux Valley returns the favor. DeBeer, great catch. Hillerud, who's the game's most valuable player. He caught 9 passes for 3 touchdowns. But look at the run by Durfee. He not only got the first down, he goes all the way. 42 yards for a score, and it's 28-21 Bonham. Looks like the Cavs are going to win it, as Matt Westbrook is not only a great offensive player, but it looked like this might ice the game for them. The interception at the goal line, 28-21 still. But Bonham cannot pick up a couple of first downs to ice the game away. Now it's the Cossacks' turn. DeBeer to, you guessed it, Hillerud. Now the snap is bad on the tie, so they go for 2. Game's over, right? 28-27 Bonham. Wrong. It all comes down to this. 6 seconds are left in the game. Sioux Valley trails 28-27. DeBeer looks for Hillerud. He's triple teamed, so he throws for Van Manen. The rest is history. The greatest comeback in high school football playoff history. 34 makes it 34-28. Sioux Valley wins. The agony of defeat for Bonham as the players play on the field. They can't believe it. What a finish. 34-28. Sioux Valley is the 11th B champion. Hope you've enjoyed this one. We got another one yet to go. But for now, let's send it back to the studio for this news break.
A championship game between the 2 unbeatens, O'Gorman and Pierre. But first, we'll take a little time out and relax a little bit before we get set up for this next ball game. And it doesn't matter who they are or what level they play on, but equipment safety is a must for all football players. And as Kettleland's Dave Hahn reports, it's also primary concern for 2 Yankton men who have spent the past 26 years repairing football gear.
The beating it takes. But eventually the time comes when repairs are needed.
Was I just taken offline?
Past 26 years practicing the art of refurbishing football equipment.
I married a gal from Yankton, and we left and went to Denver, and I was an automobile underwriter for an insurance company, and came back, and the guy I was going to go to work for in Yankton had said that there was an opening, or that we could restart an old existing reconditioning company that had closed, and that's how Dwayne and I got together and got started in this thing, and I think it was September of 1962 is when we began.
Things have changed a lot since the early days, especially with the equipment.
It used to be just the old suspension tape, now they're all padded and air, so they can get air to their head better and things like that, and better protection all the way around.
Royal Sports repaired nearly 15,000 helmets this year. Each one had to be taken apart, cleaned, buffed, painted, and finally reassembled. But before they're returned, each helmet is put through the test.
The testing is very important because it'll, even if there's a bad cell on there, that it'll tell that. We flunked a few too, I tell you that. Of course, a lot of visual work on testing. If you see a helmet's cracked, then that's what it is. It's turned down, rejected.
It has to be what they call a NOxie-approved helmet, which means that the helmet would have probably been manufactured since 1974. And I guess the second criteria would be if the shell is cracked on it, will you reject it?
Repairing a helmet is about 1/4 the cost of buying a new one. However, the threat of liability lawsuits is putting increased pressure on helmet manufacturers.
15 years ago, there were 18 manufacturers. Today, there are 2 major manufacturers left. And I don't know how much longer manufacturers are going to absorb all the cost of the insurance. Because at one time within the past year, I think there were probably 75 lawsuits filed against the helmet manufacturers. And how long they can continue on that basis, I don't know.
Royal Sports has never had any liability problems, and that's just the way they want to keep it as they watch the industry continue to change.
The people who designed this test for the football helmet, they've been doing a lot of research on batting helmets, and I think that will probably be the next thing we'll see some major changes in the batting helmets. And I know that they're doing research on shoulder pads to try to make better shoulder pads, and also on they've been doing a lot of research on knee braces.
In addition to helmets, the shop also repairs shoulder pads, jerseys, and hockey pads. The equipment comes in from nearly 800 schools across a 10-state region.
We do a little work with the Minnesota Vikings, and we have done a little work with the Dolphins, but it still boils down that our bread and butter is the small high school and the small colleges. School people are good people to deal with, and I think it kind of gives us a feeling of pride that we know we've done our best to help make sure that the high school kids or the young athletes in this area are wearing the safest equipment that we can help them with.
While the playing season is coming to an end, the people at Royal Sports are kicking off another season of repair. For the next 9 months, they'll be busy fixing the damage of the past season. So next fall, the players can strap it on and do it all again. Dave Hahn, Kellerland Sports, Yankton.
Good thing to know, and fortunately for us, we haven't had any serious injuries, and hopefully it's because of good equipment. Mark Overton is down in the field, and he's got a Gorman coach, Steve Keeter. Mark? Thanks, Gary. We'll have Ken Koistinen, by the way, in a couple of minutes as the Governors have gone to the locker room. Steve, it's been a marvelous season for the Knights. In your wildest dreams, did you think the team would be this successful?
Well, I didn't think we'd be 11-0 at this point of the season, but I thought that we would have some success. It's a good bunch of kids, and they've worked hard all summer in the weight room. And I think we had a little bitter taste in our mouth from last year where we got knocked out first round of the playoffs. So this team dedicated itself to getting here, and getting here at 11-0, that's a plus.
We know about the tradition of the Gorman. Certainly that's got to be something that's on your side. How many times have you been here in all the years of the playoffs? It's almost the O'Gorman Bowl.
Well, we've been here 6 out of the 8 years they've had it, so we've been down here a lot. But I tell you what, it gets better every year, and there's nothing like the feeling you have getting down here, and these kids really deserve it.
Okay, let's talk about the Governors. It's probably a difficult game for both of you because you've never played each other. How do you prepare for a team like that?
Well, you're right. It's tough because that's one of the few AA schools we have never played, and never really saw them play much until this year. They're a good football team. Without a doubt, the best team that will have played this year. And they do a lot of things that I think can hurt us, that concerns me. They run the fullback very well. They throw that little look-in pass that has given us a lot of trouble. They've got a couple of outstanding ends. That concerns us. I don't know. Nobody stopped them yet. We're certainly going to try tonight.
Okay, one last thing. The running attack is the key for you. It has been all year long. Obviously, you're going to go with what got you here, right?
There's no doubt about it. We're going to try our darndest to run the football tonight because that's what we do best.
Sitzman, McConnell, who has to have the best game for you tonight to win?
Well, for us to be successful, Sitzman, McConnell have to have good games, both of them. And then also we got to have some good running by our halfbacks, too, Kunkel and Hollenbeck. And I tell you what, our offensive line sets it all up. So if we're on target and the holes are there, they'll all have good games.
Okay, Steve. Good luck. Thanks.
Thanks a lot.
Gary, back up to you. We'll have Ken in a couple of minutes.
All right, thanks a lot, Mark. And we'll take a timeout before we come back and set the stage for this, the 11 AA state title game.
Once voted one of the 10 best cars in the world by car.
For the final game of the 2 days, and to get a little bit about both clubs, let's look at our scouting reports. And here's Sioux Falls Lincoln head coach Jerry Miller, who met O'Gorman in the first round, and he scouts the Knights.
When you're talking about high school trainers in South Dakota athletics, you're talking about only a handful, just a few teams, and the majority of them.
That's not Jerry Miller. It sounded like somebody I know.
Let's talk a little bit. We'll get the cue and we can hear Jerry's scouting reports. But, Joe, we talked a little bit about it in the last game about you've been around this team a little bit. And what do you expect tonight? Do they have to play a perfect game?
Well, Gorman has, of course, been an outstanding team all year. Again, like I said, the strength of their football team is their offensive line. And with behind it, Chris Sitzman and, of course, Chad McConnell have had tremendous years rushing the football. But they're going to be teams, you're going to see them run the football and run it, and keep running it. They won't throw much. They've only thrown like 45 passes all year. That's 4 a game. So you won't see them with the ball in the air much from the O'Gorman team.
All right, let's check in again now. And Rick tells us we've got Jerry Miller to scout the Knights.
For the Pierre Governors to beat O'Gorman offensively, they have to keep the football. They can't run 3 plays and punt the ball. And if that happens, they have to make sure that that they don't give O'Gorman good field position. You know, you've got they have to start somewhere on the 5 or the 10. Defensively, you cannot allow O'Gorman to have 15 to 16 running plays. You have to stop them on first down. And on first down has been a tough chore for everybody this year. They're so powerful with Chad McConnell and with Chris Sitzman that if you don't stop those two and you don't stop them on first down, you know, you never know what the score is going to be.
All right, thank you, Jerry. And for a quick look at what everybody can expect from Pierre, Yankton head coach Max Hawk, who Pierre beat in the semifinals, takes a look at the Governors.
Runs an offense of big plays. They'll bang away at you first, second down. If they don't get too much, they don't worry about it because bang, they might go all the way. We played them twice, and both times we've tried to defend against the big play, and both times the big play is the one that got us. Our semifinal game Monday night, they ran a 71-yard dive play untouched, and they ran a 59-yard one untouched to draw play. So they're definitely big play people, no question about it.
Okay. What about the defense?
If they have a weakness, I would say it probably is their defense. They have pretty good team speed, and they seem to be willing to bend a little bit without breaking if possible. Play a strict zone pass defense. Really tough to get a big play against them. We've scored now, I guess, 5, 6 touchdowns in the 2 games against them. We've had to grind them all out. Of course, we aren't the type that can break anything real long anyhow.
All right, thanks a lot. And Mark Overton is down on the field, and he's got Pierre head coach Ken Cloyston. And Mark?
Thanks, Gary. Quickly, Ken, it's been a phenomenal year for your club. I know this was a goal for you to get here. Are you satisfied to get here, or do you want to win this darn thing?
We're not satisfied at all, and neither are our players. This, like you said, this has been a goal of ours. We've been working it since last year when we got beat out in the semifinals. And these kids, I just can't say enough about them. They've got here, and they're going to go after this with everything we've got.
One more question quickly. It's difficult, as Steve Keeter said, when you haven't played each other, you haven't seen each other, how do you prepare for a common opponent that you really don't know anything about?
It's tough. We've got all the respect in the world for O'Gorman. They've got a great offense. They're a great tradition. We just feel like we have to go out there and play the game of our lives, and we feel like we can win if we do that. And the preparation, all we could do was look at films and try to simulate the things they do in practice. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but we're going to go out and shoot all of our shells anyway.
Congratulations, and I hope you guys can outdo what we had in the first game here.
Thank you much.
Again, back up to you, Gary. I hope we have a great game here. I got the feeling down on the sideline it's going to be.
All right, Mark. Let's take a look at both teams and how they got here throughout the season. First, O'Gorman, you're going to see 2 unbeaten, so it's defeated all on the left side. They started out with Brookings, and then beat Lincoln, then North Washington, Sioux City West, Rapid City Central, East, Heelan West, and they beat Lincoln and Brookings in the playoffs. And for Pierre, again, unbeaten. They beat Central, Sturgis, Brookings, Mitchell by a shutout, Watertown, Rapid City Stevens, the defending champs, by 10, Huron Avenue Central, and in the playoffs, they beat Stevens and Yankton by only 2. So, I don't know, a lot of question marks, Joe, as far as what we can expect. At this point, you look at stats, we try to figure out what's going to happen, but
well, we expect a great football game. I think it's really exciting to be here in the Dome at this time. We are virtually sold out. There's one section over there that's got a few empty seats, but they may fill up here in the next 5 minutes or so. But it's wild here. here. This Pierre student body is enjoying it. They're having fun. The O'Gorman team, they're always having fun. So it's going to be a great football game. We'll have to get on with the introductions here.
Boy, when the Governors come to state tournament time, they bring out everybody, and we're expecting, well, I need them now to fire me up, and I think they're about ready to go after that last game, sitting down on the sidelines. I was pretty much emotionally drained, but we're ready to go here, and I'm just as fired up as everybody else. And there you see the group of Governor fans right now. We're getting ready to introduce both clubs. And we'll start it with the Governor's offense and the quarterback, Trent Merkwan. You see him. He is a senior. And number 12 on the backfield, it'll be number 26, Terry Nelson. He is a senior. Number 26.
Get over 1,000-yard rusher this year.
Steve Schneider is number 36. He'll also be in the backfield, and he had over 1,000.
He rushed for over 1,200 yards. Big numbers for backs.
John Rapp, number 40, a flanker. He's a senior. He catches the ball a lot when they go to the air.
Their leading receiver, 21 catches.
Troy Bushbaum, another receiving target. He's a senior. Your offensive line now is Troy Stulkin. He's a senior, number 75. Paul Keats, number 53, also a senior. At center will be Jason Smith. He is number 50. Jamie Rounds, also a senior, at one guard. And a tackle will be Shane Bonham, number 73, he too a senior. And a tight end, Shannon Schaefer, a junior, he'll be number 88.
All those linemen are about 6'2", 6'3", 6'4". They all weigh between 205 and 230 pounds. Big offensive line for the Pierre Governors.
And now the starting defensive unit for the O'Gorman Knights. Starting in the defensive backfield at one corner will be number 22, Lance Fanning, a senior. At the corner will be number 11, Brad Jones. He had 6 interceptions on the year to lead the club. And he'll be joined by Aaron Ferry. Aaron Ferry had the 6 interceptions on the year to lead the club.
Ferry had 9 interceptions this year.
Check that. I think that's career. Jeff Gross will start at linebacker, number 87. Bruce Weiss, number 44, linebacker, a junior. Number 34 will be Wade Shaver.
Excuse me, he's 6.
Also another linebacker, Chris Sitzman.
Chris Sitzman's a double two-way player. He also starts at fullback. He's one of their leading rushers.
Wade Garrett's number 54, junior, will start on that defensive line. Justin Hannison, another junior, number 75 at one tackle. Your defensive ends tonight for the Knights, junior Ryan Folson, number 80. And number 61, Mike Kaiser, a senior. And that's the starting defensive unit for the Knights. The officials for tonight's game are being introduced at this time. And the crew from Aberdeen, Ed Hunston will be the referee. John Emmett, the umpire. The linesman, Dwight Hassel. Your line judge, Tim Weber. And the back judge, Dwayne Donay. Crew from Aberdeen.
5 officials for this game, and not 4 like we've had in the other ball games.
The Knights will kick off. Pierre's going to get the ball first, and Chad McConnell, Mr. Everything, will kick off for the Knights. Pierre will return to Jason Culberson, Terry Nelson, and Trevor Knutz.
Well, we don't know that.
What do we got here?
Well, I don't know if they've had the official coin flip yet.
Oh, no, we haven't done that. That's right.
What happens is you usually flip the coin before, and then you decide, all of a sudden, Harold Gorman is out here to kick the ball out. Here comes the official one right now. So we'll see if Pierre won the toss and whether they deferred or what really happened.
I think they won it. I'm going to put money on they won it. Pierre did win the toss, and they will receive, and the Knights will kick off. And
Pierre's going to try to turn that offense loose against the radar defense played by the O'Gorman Knights.
Pierre likes to get out to quick starts. They don't hold anything back. And it'll be interesting to see how everybody responds to this. So there you see Chad McConnell, number 12. He's a senior. Great baseball player.
Chad's one of the finest athletes in the state right here. Kicks off, does a long field goal kicking, gets a good kickoff.
And from his 5 is where Pierre will take off, and up that left sideline is Jason Culberson, and he's driven out of bounds at the 37-yard line, and that's where the Govs take over.
Fumble the ball going out of bounds, but they got good field position. It was a good kickoff, and they got a fine return on that. Culberson made a fine effort on it.
So starting at quarterback, Trent Merkwan, number 12. He'll have Terry Nelson, Steve Schneider, and John Rapp. There you see the Pierre offense, and the ends Troy Bushbaum and Shannon Schaefer.
They come up an off-balance line up in a triple I formation, then put Rapp in motion. Number 40 will go in motion one side to the other.
And he's their leading receiver when they do go to the air, and there he goes in motion right away. Handoff to the left side to Steve Schneider, and he's to the 46-yard line. Their leading ground gainer, 1,275 yards on the year, a 6.8 average. And he got 9 yards on that play, so he keeps that average right up there.
Good first down play. They're sitting up 2nd and 1 right now.
Shane Bonham, Troy Stelkin, Jamie Rounds, Paul Keats, and Jason Smith, the men up front for the Pierre Governors.
These knows Gorman in their radar defense. They all stand up, and they switch into the 4-3 once in a while.
Same formation again. Merkwan to throw this time. He's got to tuck it under, and he's going to be close to a first down. He should get it according to where the mark is. And so the Governors 2 plays and first down. Chris Sitzman and Wade Shaver in on the stop for the Knights.
Well, they had a 2nd and 1. They were going to just waste a play, try to get a big play off, but the coverage and everybody got to him, but Merkwan was able to pick up the first on it.
Here you see the Gorman backfield. Shaver, Sitzman, Gross, Doherty, Jones, Fanning, and Ferry. In motion this time.
Fumble.
Still on the ground.
Who's got it? O'Gorman's got it. Well, that was a mixed handoff there, and he never quite had the handle on the ball when he got it. Schneider didn't seem like he had the ball when he got it from Merkwan. There it is, the quarterback. Merkwan never got the ball from the center. He never had a chance to get the ball to Schneider.
That was one.
Well, that ball's bouncing around. He's going to run for a touchdown. Well, here we are. Knights got the ball. 1st and 10.
Hand out to Sitzman.
Sitzman.
He's to the 39-yard line.
Again, Pierre played that play well, but Sitzman's just a strong running back. He's been doing this all year. You can hit him at the line, but you better hit him good or he's going to make a couple. He always seems to slide and they will pick up 2 or 3 more than he's supposed to.
Trevor Kuntz and Terry Nelson in on the stop for the Governors. They pick up of 7 for Sitzman, 2nd down and 3. They're at the Governors 39, and here he goes again, and he's got a first down at the 34.
Just a little trap play up the middle.
Nothing fancy there. Stop made by Terry Nelson again.
O'Gorman in their unbalanced right double wing formation. Use a lot of motion. Pierre is adjusting with a 3-deep secondary. Moving the strong safety out, playing over the end. Trying to cut down the outside run game they got. Here's McConnell.
McConnell tucks it under, looks for some room on the sideline, and he just fights his way down to the 22-yard line. And another first down.
Just a little keep. They fake the Sitzman, and he keeps it with Matt Metley pulling out in front of him, and they've been effective with that play all year. That's the play that Chad McConnell makes most of his yardage on. He's rushed for about 800 yards this year.
Well, O'Gorman's defensive backfield, McConnell, Sitzman, Kunkel, Hollenbeck, Aaron Ferry, and Ryan Folsom. And in motion is Kunkel, and he's got the handoff. Bounces off the defensive line and got about couple yards on the play. It's going to be 2nd down and 8 for Tim Kunkel, who rushed for just over 400 yards on the season. And up front, it's Mike McGreevy, Justin Hannison, Wade Garrett, Matt Medley, and Chris Lamberty, the center. Second down and 7, the Knights on the Governor's 19. And in motion is Kunkel again, and it looks like O'Gorman jumped off sides. Mike McGreevy, number 74, appeared to get just a little too quick off the ball.
Puts him in a 2nd and 13 situation.
So the first penalty of the ball game goes against the Knights. And we're having some audio problems with our microphone on the official, and hopefully we'll be able to work that out. So bear with us on getting the details. 2nd down and 12. Sitzman and McConnell making sure they've got the play called from the Governor's 24. Here's McConnell. Chad McConnell inside the 5, inside the 10. They're going to mark it at about the 6-yard line.
Well, that's the same play he made the earlier gain on. Take it to Sitzman going up the middle. Comes pulling around the outside with the pulling guard in front of him.
So 1st down and goal as you look at the Pierre defensive backfield. Shannon Schaefer, Rounds, Nelson, Culberson, Schneider, and Trevor Kuntz. And touchdown. Chad, Chris Sitzman from 6 yards out. And the Knights are on the board.
Well, that's the thing O'Gorman's done all year. They take the ball, they'll just ram it at you, and we play, as I said yesterday, play smash mouth football. Their offensive line really comes off the line and blocks well. Their backs are strong. They're able to they made that drive look easy.
Chris Sitzman, 909 yards on the season with 16 TDs, and he's off and running. And the extra point attempt by Sanchez is good. And the Knights take a 7-0 lead. So real no surprises offensively for Gorman.
Well, there's not any surprise. This is the thing they've done all year. This is their formation. This is the power that they run with. So they've just been able to take it to it. Pierre right now, they showed signs that they can do something. We'll see what happens. They had the fumble from the center that really stopped that first series they had. So we'll see what they do when they get the ball this time.
Eight minutes and 25 seconds left in the first quarter for the 11AA championship game. Back deep for Pierre, you see Trevor Kuntz on your left and Jason Culberson, number 23 on your right. They're standing on their own 4 or 5 yard line as the Knights are ready to kick off again. Chad McConnell. Talk about Chad being a great baseball player. That's his aspirations, to be a baseball player. He holds the Little League record in Tucson, Arizona for home runs yet to this day.
Well, the thing about him, he's being recruited by Division I football teams, too, as the quarterback. So he's going to have his opportunity to go any way he can, although as I understand he does like baseball better.
Culberson's return out to the 18-yard line in the Governors as Wade Shaver made the stop. So that's where Pierre will take over. 46-yard drive in 6 plays for the Knights in just over 2 minutes, with Sitzman pounding it over for the TD as O'Gorman gets on top. In motion again is John Rapp. And Merklon fumble again.
They give it O'Gorman's ball. I'll tell you, the quickness that the O'Gorman defense got across the line of scrimmage, I'm not sure who it was. He was in the backfield before the quarterback had a chance to hand the ball off.
Looks like Wade Garrett was
like
the
to
man
see a
coming
replay.
out.
See, look at 60. I mean, he's in there. The guy can't even get to the line of scrimmage, and he's into the backfield. He caused that fumble.
That's Matt Metley, who was right in on it.
That's also a starting offensive left guard. O'Gorman does have a few of those players that go both ways. But that's the thing that's been impressive on is the quickness they have up front offensively and defensively.
Boy, a tough break for the Governors, but
that's not good. Well, we'll see what they do with this drive, but you don't want to get behind them too far early.
So the Knights take over on the Governor's 16-yard line, and the offense back on the field again. Kunkel, he's got a good hold, and he's down to the 5.
Another first down.
Kunkel again got a nice hole, followed Matt Metley.
Matt Metley coming up through the hole. It's good block.
And they brought down by Jason Culberson. So the Knights again first and goal at the 5. Kunkel again. Here's Sitzman with the call and stopped at the 1, maybe the 2. And a good defensive surge by Pierre. They weren't going to give Sitzman an easy one. Troy Bushbaum led the surge. He got some help from Steve Schneider. Bushbaum averages about 10 tackles a game, and Schneider about 7. Second down. Ball marked at the 1. And he's in. Chris Sitzman, his second TD, and the Knights jump out to a 13-0 lead.
It's just straight ahead block. Sitzman just runs over his own team, everybody else to get in the end zone. And you get him by the goal line. He smells it, knows how to get in. Well, he took Metley and took everybody else with him.
So Peter Sanchez on to kick the extra point for the Knights as they try to increase their lead to 2 touchdowns. And they do just that with 6:48 to go in the first quarter. Knights lead at 14-0. Mark Overton is down on the sideline, and he's got a special guest.
Actually, I'm up in the stands here, Gary. I don't know if you guys can see me. I'm on the 45-yard line in the runway over here with a good friend, Troy Schaefer, who, of course, is from Pierre. Troy, memories of great old times on the basketball court must come back to you when you're in a situation like this.
Oh, it definitely does. You know, we played a lot of basketball. We were successful in football. We never got the chance like the Pierre Governors of this year, and it's nice to come back and watch them do well, and also it's nice to see your little brother do well, too.
I was going to say, your little brother says he likes the role of following in the footsteps of you and Monty. That's going to be kind of tough.
He does a good job of it. You know, that always happens. But he has a cool head on him. And they just
Troy, one more quick question here. I know that things aren't going too well here so far for the Governors, but as an Augie grad, you got to be proud of your Vikings. It looks like they might make the playoffs.
Fired up. It's I went back and watched them play USC. It's the only game I saw, and they're a very, very dominating team that time. And now that they're going to the playoffs, it's something I wish I could have done, spending that much time playing there. But now that I'm alumni, it's just as sweet.
Okay, Troy Schaefer now in Cedar Falls, Iowa, as an insurance man. One of the classiest athletes ever in the state of South Dakota. Back up to you, Gary.
All right, thanks a lot. First down and 10 for the Governors, and pass out to Bushbaum, and he's got a first down to the 45-yard line. So a big play for Bushbaum.
Up here coming out, trying to open it up a little bit. They had a couple of fumbles that stopped them, but they can throw the football. Merkwan was 78. Well, excuse me, we're through 94 times, completed 45 this year for 791 yards. These are good numbers.
Bushbaum wide open and enough for first down yardage. He caught 4 TDs through the air. Hand off over the right side is Steve Schneider, and he got a couple.
Chris Sitzman in on the tackle from his linebacking position.
So the Governors trying to break into night territory for the first time of the night. Second down and 6. And again, John Rapp in motion. And Merkwan to air it out. Going for Rapp. Too far. Intercepted. Lance Barron. And he'll be ruled down at the 20-yard line. And another tough break for the Governors.
You know, Gorman defensively has been so strong this year. One of the incredible numbers they have, defensive statistics, they've intercepted 26 passes in their 11 games. This is the 27th year. Those are big interception numbers. They play their zones well, and they go back and they do a great job. Of course, with Aaron Ferry with 6 interceptions for the season.
Right. Merkwan just aired it out a little too far for John Rapp, and the Knights take over. Here's McConnell again on that left side. Got a block from Metley, and he's got first down yardage and is out of bounds at the 35. And there you see the indication of the first down run. McConnell scored 7 touchdowns on the ground this year.
And he doesn't throw the ball often, but when they do, he's completed 18. 7 of them have been for touchdowns.
In motion is Kunkel, and he gets the call around that right side, and another hole, and he'll be about a half a yard short of a first down to the 45. You know, Steve Keeter was telling me this week that if Pierre were to stop the running game and they were forced to throw, he was a little nervous about it because he comes right out and admits he doesn't have any players that can catch it. And you got a guy with a great arm like McConnell that it seems like he's being wasted because he doesn't have anybody to throw to.
They've been able to run the ball so effectively all year that there's no reason to throw the ball.
Second down and 1, and he's going to go for it.
Folsom.
Great catch.
Jay Hollenbeck. Well, just when you say you're trying to throw it, off he loads it on you. But they do that. They get the defense so run orientated to defend it that all of a sudden they play that little play action, and there ain't any secondary people back there. There's a great throw right there.
Right
that
on the
ball's got a lot of carry.
Great catch. Yep. So again, the Knights threatening. They're down to the Pierre 22-yard line. We're down to about 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. Kunkel in motion, and here he comes again, following Metley, and the Governors stack him up this time. He got a couple on the play. McConnell took quite a lick after that pass, and
Call tri-sided. Now you get in from 3 sides, and that's 2.
a Chad McConnell sandwich right there by the Govs. Second down at 6, and Sitzman. First down yardage and a fumble, but I think they're going to rule him down. His knee was down, and that's when the ball popped out. So, again, the Knights with a first down. Shannon Schaefer and Jason Culberson in on the stop of Sitzman.
Here takes a timeout.
And we will take a timeout as the Gorman Knights do as well. 14-0 Knights, and they're threatening again.
Remember the way vanilla ice cream used to taste? We created New York Vanilla to bring back all the creamy richness of the good old days. A tasteful difference from Lakeside.
Hi, I'm Larry Lasker from Lake Andes. I've been farming with my father for the last 12 years.
Wyman put it over timeout, and Mark Overton is at the 50-yard line in the stands with the governor of South Dakota.
You see me this time? Got me? Okay. I got Governor Mickelson here, and George, last time I saw you at a sporting event with a son or a daughter playing, you were wearing red. What's the deal here?
I have lots of colors. You've moved. We've moved. I still have my red sweater. She's playing for the University of Washington, getting along great.
How much fun is it to sit up here and watch your son play?
Well, it's a lot of fun. He's a junior this year, and he's adapted very well in Pierre, and we're proud of the team.
Okay, let's get back to the game here. We'll talk to you in a minute here. Well, they just held them. So far, it hasn't looked very good for the Govs. Can they get things going here?
Well, I don't know. They're an explosive team. I've seen all but I guess one game, and they're a good team. I'll tell you what I've seen of O'Gorman so far, they are awesome. And we knew that. And they're a good team, and they haven't made a mistake so far.
Now, do you find yourself in a precarious situation, obviously rooting for Pierre here?
Not precarious at all. I have a son playing. I'm going to root for him.
Okay, good luck to your son and to you, George. Back up to you.
Thanks, Mark. The Knights now second down and 6 from the 6, and Kunkel again in motion, but here's Sitzman, and he's in. So at 2:49, Chris Sitzman, his third touchdown of the night, and it's 20-0 O'Gorman.
Well, they're putting on an awesome show so far in this first quarter. There's still about 2.5 minutes to go in this quarter, and it's 21-0. But O'Gorman looks awful sharp at this point.
Peter Sanchez, as you watch Sitzman celebrate his TD, will come on to kick the extra point. And he's perfect, and the Knights 21-0 lead.
I think that's Peter's 57th PAT for the year.
A lot of touchdowns.
But only 3 field goals.
They don't kick.
They get down tight. They don't have to kick any. And we see the O'Gorman cheering section up on their feet, cheering the Knights right now.
I guess most coaches say it. If you don't have to kick a field goal, why?
Right.
Bob Burns, the old coach of O'Gorman, and I emphasize, no, I don't want to get Bob mad at me by emphasizing the old part of it. They're wearing, Night fans are running around wearing hats, and I hope Mark can find one, but it's Saturday Night Fever, and the night is spelled with the K. Bob came up with that.
7 plays, 80 yards, 2 minutes, 29 seconds. Again, the long pass to Hollenbeck from McConnell was the big play in that drive.
So the Governors again awaiting Chad McConnell's kick. And back deep will be Jason Culberson and Trevor Kuntz. And a nice kick by McConnell, and it'll at the end zone is number 27, Trevor Knutz, and he goes to the left side, and nice return to the 29.
Well, that was a deep kickoff. That went back to the 1-yard line.
Good return for Pierre, marking at the 28. Brad Jones in on the stop for the Knights, and he got some help from Sean Doherty. And there you see Kenny Coyston and the Governor coach, and a lot of conversation, I bet, going on upstairs between his staff right now. In motion again is Rapp. On first down, the handoff to Schaefer. Boy, did he keep his balance.
Good balance.
Might be close enough for a first down, maybe about...
He's tackled there by Brad Jones. Brad Jones is about 155, 160 pounds, and he plays like a 200-pound free safety. The guy is really a fine tackler.
There's Steve Schneider, and he was hit, put his hand down, and got back up for enough for first down.
Good balance on his part.
In motion this time is Mark Peterson. Merkwan, and he's leveled. Sitzman was there.
Ryan Folsom's there.
And Brad Jones
is there.
Merkwan got a yard on the play, so second down and 9. Again in motion. Pitch back to Terry Nelson, and he got a couple yards. And again, Brad Jones.
Brad Jones, Honnison. Get on the tackle.
We've called John Rapp's number quite often. He's the man that goes in motion, number 40. His first cousin is Brian Weiss of DeSmit, who won the 9A championship last night. Third down and 5 for the Governors here. Merkwan rolling out is Schneider.
That was Nelson that time. Just couldn't get away. He got tripped up. Again, Nelson rushed over for over 1,000 yards this year.
He averages a little over 8 yards a carry, and it'll be 4th down for the Governors. Terry Nelson just trying to cut back inside, and
you know, Gorman's line, that was supposed to be a sprint draw type play, but Gorman's line had too much penetration on it. They didn't have any holes or cracks for Nelson to run into that time.
Lost his balance a little bit. If he might have kept that, he could have had enough for 1st down, but 4th down, they're going to punt. And Sean Williams, the punter, and he's hit, but they don't call anything on it. And Aaron Ferry's brought down at the 20-yard line, but no flag on the hit. Wasn't intentional. It was blocked into him, I'm assuming. And the Knights take over now their own 20.
Jeff Gross in on the coming from the left side. Here's Jeff Gross coming in to block.
I don't know.
I think could have seen a rag on that one.
Yeah. The end of the first quarter. Let's watch the replay again. Jeff Gross coming in, and they'll be talking about that one in Pierre. Timeout is a quarter ends, 21-0 O'Gorman.
You have 7 ways to finance a new car.
Coach Kenny Koistinen had a few words with the officials after that punt, and looking at the replay, I would say it's a justified argument. And he wasn't blocked into him at all, and
you can't hit the punter when his leg is off the ground.
Nope. So for Gorman now coming back the other way, Sitzman got the call, and
that was Kunkel
again, excuse me, and he got a couple. Chip Lindblom, number 66, you see him there. He made the stop for the Governors, and Kunkel got only 2, 2nd down and 8. And here's Sitzman. And the Governors do a nice job, but Sitzman just keeps those legs moving.
Strong fullback, good hit.
Got about 6 yards on the play. Be about 3rd and 2, but
look at the block by Mike McGreevy. Number 74 coming in there, playing the right tackle position.
Steve Schneider led the charge after Sitzman ran over a Governor defender. 3rd down and 1 for the Knights. And Sitzman, he's got the 1st down. Out to the 33.
Well, again, sometimes for you fans that are sitting in your living room, the fun part to watch of this O'Gorman team is to watch the line come off the ball and the snap and watch the blocking up front. His first quarter stats, 113 yards rushing to 29, 43 passing. That tells the difference of the game, 21-0.
Both teams
time of possession is pretty close.
O'Gorman just capitalized a couple of turnovers, and Jay Hollenbeck fumble. Here, the first break of the game for the Governors. They'll take over on the night 41.
Well, Pierre needs something good for him to happen. That was a good break for him. Now we'll see if they can do anything with it. They got great field position. We'll see if they can make it. Make something happen now.
Big hit right there by number 88, Sean Schaefer.
Shannon Schaefer just put a good hit on him, caused the fumble.
And Steve Schneider fell on top of it. So the Governors now, their first big break in the game. They're on the night 41.
Well, things haven't been going well for them. Sometimes you got to get something like that. That can really rejuvenate you.
Here's Schneider, and a fine run down to the 35. He got 6. And a good hole for Schneider.
That's putting that man in motion out to their short side. It loosens things up on that side. And, of course, Schneider's made some good gains on 1st down running that play. That's been the best play that Pierre's been able to run all night. It's been successful several times.
Second down and 4. That's Peterson in motion. Coming around, the last man through is Terry Nelson. And he's down to 29, or 34, excuse me, 33. And he's going to be a couple short of the first down. Brad Jones and Bruce White on the stop. Brad Jones, the younger brother of Scott Jones, fine quarterback for the Knights, and went on to lead the University of South Dakota to the Division II championship a couple years back. Third down and 2, big play for the Governors. Here's Schneider, and the Knights respond with a good surge, and he's going to be about a yard shy.
Now we're up to 4th and 1. It's about 4th and 1 on the 33-yard line. See Pierre go for it. They could use the first down right here. Try to put a little momentum back in their attack.
The Governor fans on their feet, 4th and 1. Peterson in motion. They got it.
Again, Steve Schneider, their workhorse. 195 pounds, just hitting up tough inside where the going is hard. Stayed low that time. Got real low and nobody could get underneath him. He was able to pick up about 3 yards.
Steve Schneider is a good student. 4.0 grade point average. Merkwan sets up, got some time, going for it all, and out too far for Troy Bushbaum. And he was one-on-one back there with Lance Fanning. But Merkwan had some time, stepped up in the pocket.
No, Fanning, of course, O'Gorman plays their zones well. They're back there. They had it well defended. And, of course, the smart thing to do is overthrow it. Don't get an interception, which is what happened.
Here at the O'Gorman 30-yard line, this drive started thanks to a turnover by the Knights. And it's now 2nd down and 10. Peterson again in motion. The pitch back, little flea flicker. Schneider going out, and a drop. Lance Fanning had it in his hands. The pass was going to Mark Peterson, and Schneider not on the mark.
Again, just ran the man out, motion out of the backfield, tried to make it look like a sweep. See, it doesn't look like, they don't make it look like a sweep right away, so when you don't, the secondary generally won't bite on something like that. You got to really make it look like a run to the secondary and then pull up and throw the football before that play can be successful.
Third down and 10. Merkwan, a nice rush by the Knights, but he overshoots John Rapp, and it's going to be 4th down, and Merkwan took quite a hit, and he's still down on the ground. And some problems over that sideline, but Trent Merkwan took quite a pop on that play. There is a flag down at the far sideline, and we can't see it from our vantage point, but you're looking at Trent Merkwan, and hopefully he just got the wind knocked out of him.
There's a replay on it. Personal foul against Pierre on this.
Mike Kaiser made the hit.
Personal foul happened down here after the ball was overthrown. It happened down here in the area where the receivers were.
Merkwan appears to be all right. And he's going to come off the field. But yet we have to take care of that flag that was thrown. And we don't have any indication of who it's against. But it looks like it's going to be against Pierre.
Pierre's got their punt team in. Penalty was after the snap. Dead ball foul, so that'll make it about 4th down and 25.
There's the action down on that sideline, and we really can't see from that vantage point. But there's the personal foul call. And it's 3rd down and 25. And Pierre's also taking a timeout. It's a dead ball foul. It's going to be 4th down then. Okay. Stay with us, O'Gorman. AA championship game. O'Gorman in control at this point, leading at 21-0. And the Govs are faced with a 4th down and 25 from the night 45-yard line.
They got a fumble, of course, had a good scoring opportunity. They haven't been able, they got 1 first down, but then a 15-yard penalty here on the last down has forced them into a punting situation. So they'll turn the ball over to O'Gorman right here.
Sean Williams will punt for the Governors. Brad Jones and Aaron Ferry back at their own 10-yard line. And Ferry calls for fair catch, but a great bounce, and the Governors will pin the Knights back at their own 7-yard line, and that's where they will take over.
So far in the game, Chad McConnell has 3 carries for 46 yards. Chris Sisman, 8 carries for 49 yards. And Tim Kunkel has 6 carries for 32 yards. And Steve Schneider from Pierre, 6 carries, 33 yards. So he's been the workhorse for the Pierre Governors.
And everything pretty much balanced out for Pierre, for O'Gorman. And the Knights have taken a timeout. Both teams now with 2 left in this half. And we will do the same. Stay with us. Well, they're on their own 9-yard line, and it's the worst position they've been in all night.
They've turned 3 turnovers, 2 fumbles into touchdowns when they recovered them deep in Pierce territory. They did intercept the pass and go 80 yards on their 3rd touchdown drive. The only thing that stopped them at this point so far in the ballgame has been their own fumble, which Pierre recovered. Had good field position, was unable to cash in on it.
This is Sitzman, and he's stacked up. Nice drive by Pierre.
Wasn't any hole that time.
No. The Govs respond. You know, they can hold them here. They'd have some great field position again. And there you see Ken Koistinen. There you see Chip Lindblom, number 66. Sitzman got a yard, 2nd down and 9. Here's Kunkel. And again, a nice defensive surge by the Governors.
3rd down and 7 coming up.
Number 88, Shannon Schaefer in on that stop.
The Governors pretty much run all of their plays inside other than McConnell's little keep going to the weak side. We haven't seen any outside running game from them.
Shannon Williams helped out as well. 3rd down and 7. Flag on the play. McConnell, he's got a 1st down and a lot more. Another flag thrown. McConnell's on his way, but
we got a flag. We got 4 flags.
We're bringing this one back, I think, unless a clip might offset. I think somebody moved on the Gorman line.
Yeah, but we got a clip, I believe, down here holding in the defensive secondary, so that
might negate it all, and it'll be a 60, 77-yard touchdown.
I think that gives you an idea what kind of a quarterback Chad McConnell is right there. He's a tremendous runner, has good speed. Again, we'll have his pick, really, whether he wants to play major college baseball or football.
There we go.
Last year started as a strong safety.
Motion against O'Gorman. Illegal blocking. Storm bringing it back. So a break for the Governors.
We only had 4 flags down. I wonder which official did throw is.
I didn't see the motion, but somebody did. But anyway, a 77-yard touchdown run by Chad McConnell is brought back.
Okay, 3rd down, what, 8? 3rd down and 7? I think that 3rd and 11.
Or 12. That's what the scoreboard says.
Okay. But they started on their 9. It looks like it's on their 8.
Yeah.
This guy's giving some many penalty signs. I think he wants to show out.
So once we get things organized again here, 3rd down and 11 from the 8. McConnell again tucks it under, and the Govs defended nicely. Number 23, Jason Culberson, pulling down Chad McConnell, and the Govs come out of this smelling very good. So the first punt of the night coming up for the Knights, as you see Jason Culberson, number 23, corralling Chad McConnell.
And Chad McConnell is back to the punt. Getting about a 40-yard average this year.
Terry Nelson, Jason Culberson standing on the O'Gorman 46. And another flag. Too much time. And they'll pin McConnell back even further. Be interesting to see if Pierre comes after McConnell, who's standing about a yard inside the end of the end zone. Another flag is down. McConnell's kick is a nice high one. A fair catch call for by Culberson at the 42. But again, another flag.
40-yard punt. Procedure against O'Gorman. They'll take it back.
Do it again.
Well, this game's getting ragged right now. They've had too many penalties, and they're back kicking from the edge of their end zone right now.
Let's go down to the field. As you see, Steve Keeter and Mark Ovenden is down near that end zone.
Gary, it's really important here for Pierre to score. They haven't been behind like this all year. They've only been behind a couple of times by a few points. And O'Gorman is not a team to let you up. They don't let you back in the game. They're a team that goes for the juggler, and they don't just like to win. They like to win by as many as they possibly can. So I think this is a key series in the game. If Pierre is going to get back in it, they got to do it now.
Well, let's find out. 4:58 to go in the half. They appear again, great field position on their the Governor's 42, the Knights 42. And Steve Schneider.
Well, Pierce got him in a defense that when they put that man in motion, the wide guy in the line of scrimmage for O'Gorman's defense got to loosen up and go with him. And in doing so, they're leaving a big hole to the left guard. And, of course, that's been the only play that Pierre has run with any success. But they've had good success with that play. And it always happens on first down. So there's something they picked up in the scouting report that they could do.
7-yard gain by Schneider, 2nd down and 3. Merkwan rolls around, and he's down to the 31.
Well, that's gang tackling. There's 9 guys on that ball. There were 2 guys that weren't in their tag making that tackle.
Merkwan. He's shaken up on
First
this last series, yeah.
Well, again, it's important that Pierre get a drive going here and get a score before the half runs out on them. But they got a good start. They got a first down.
I always saw it in the scouting reports at the beginning of the game. The big play, they can score quickly. And they need it now. Here's Schneider, and he pounds his way to the 25.
So what happens, that end man on the line of scrimmage is getting too loose, and they got a down block on him, and there isn't anybody there that can stop that play.
Schneider having a little problem with his helmet, but apparently it's fixed, and we'll keep playing.
Second down and 4. Clock keeps ticking. 3:45 left in the first half. O'Gorman leading 21-0.
Pitch back to Nelson. He's got some room around the corner. Great play by Brad Jones. And they're going to be a couple yards shy of the first down. But Brad Jones came flying in there.
Again, Nelson just outran everybody. Jeff Gross, it looked like he had an angle on him, and he just ran by him.
Third down and 2 for the Governors. They're on the nice 22-yard line. Schneider is stood up right away.
Well, that was a collision, and that was Sitzman and Schneider going at it one-on-one.
Justin Hannison was in there, as well as Sitzman. Sitzman is they tell me he's a pretty good skateboarder. Skateboard rider.
I don't know what a good skateboarder can do.
I'm sure. I bet he's the kind that can go up and down these ramps, you know, do all these acrobatic things in
California.
Yeah. 4th down and 3 for the Governors. A big play. Schneider got the call, and it's close. I don't think he got it. Depends on where they're going to mark it at the 22 again, and
O'Gorman holds.
Yep, they didn't get it. So Pierre unable to capitalize on some good field position again. They had to move the ball from their 45 down to the 23, and O'Gorman just toughened up once again. 2 minutes in running here in the half. Blow this one down. All 4 again on the field, the flags.
You know, O'Gorman's had about 5 penalties here in about the last 5 plays, so right now they've got to settle down and start getting back to their football game. They're not playing consistent football right now. They're playing very lackadaisical mentally.
They see Steve Keeter.
He's mad.
He's always mad.
A furrow fly at halftime.
He's probably the only coach I know who's got a 4 or 5 touchdown lead. He's still mad.
You only got 3 touchdown leads, and this thing isn't over yet.
That's right.
Now, what happens sometimes, you know, they scored the first 3 times they had the ball. There was an 3 easy drives basically for them. And a lot of times when that happens, your team loses some of that mental intensity that they came into the ball game with, and then you start getting sloppy. This is what he's got to try to get back into his ball club.
First down and 15, McConnell on the bootleg, and he goes around the left side, and he got 10 of it back.
Clock runs, 1:30 left in the first half.
They gave him 11 on the play, or 9, and it's second down and 6. As you see Kent Koistinen. McConnell again. Cuts back. First down, and tripped up by Jason Culberson. Fine piece of running by Chad McConnell.
56 seconds, the clock's running. Let's see if O'Gorman will be satisfied just to run the clock out, or they're going to go for a score here. Yep, here comes play action pass.
Coming outside to Jeff Gross. He's got the play, and he's going to be close to a first down again. And he got out of bounds. He stopped the clock with 39 seconds. Jeff Gross is one guy that doesn't mind to take a hit. He plays hockey.
Yeah, he's one of the fine hockey players in Sioux Falls. You know, you don't hear much about the hockey team that they have there, but his family and his whole family is really involved in the hockey program. On top of that, he's a top-notch student.
9 yards on the play there for Gross. Second down and 1. Clock stop with 39 seconds. And McConnell again. And he's going over the middle to Kunkel. Out.
Well, they got 2 timeouts left. They're scoring territory.
Excuse me, Jay Hollenbeck was the receiver. And
O'Gorman trying to call a timeout.
Down to the 18-yard line, and the Knights do get
He was in the end zone. He could have kept his feet. There was nobody left there. Made a fine catch for Kunkel. Excuse me, Jay Hollenbeck.
31 seconds to go in the half. We're taking timeout.
When budgeting home improvements, it's difficult to see the advantage of one heating and cooling system over
31
another.
seconds to go in the half, and O'Gorman's put on a couple of big pass plays, and they're down to the Pierre 19-yard line, and they're going to go for it again. McConnell in the end zone. Touchdown. No, dropped it.
Folsom couldn't hold on. Ryan Folsom couldn't hold on to the ball.
It was there. Jason Culberson makes the fine defensive play there to make sure that Folsom didn't have it, but here it is again. Boy, Culberson probably got a hand.
Yeah,
in
he got it.
like, yep.
It looked like he touched it enough to cause the ball to be dropped.
He knew it. So second down at 10, and only took 5 seconds off the clock.
They got time for 2 more passes. If they don't do anything, they can still kick a field goal.
Connell again. And it's ruled incomplete. Pass going to Jeff Gross.
That ball was underthrown. He didn't have a chance to step in and throw it. They had a good rush from the Pierre defense. They got some penetration on it, put some pressure on him.
And 21 seconds left on the clock as you see McConnell. Third down and 10. And here's Sitzman on the draw, and he's down to the 11-yard line.
They're probably
not enough for the first.
Timeout for O'Gorman. Here comes the field goal. Sanchez coming in. They're going to try a field goal.
They ran the ball in the middle of the, trying to get it more in the middle of the field for Sanchez.
I don't know if it was designed that way, but that's where he
that way,
ended up.
Yeah. As you see Chris Sitzman. And there's Peter Sanchez. It's going to be a 29-yard attempt. $14 seconds to go in the half. Kick is up and good. So 3 more for the O'Gorman Knights. And now 10 seconds left, and Pierre might be able to get one more play in. $24-0 O'Gorman leading.
O'Gorman, of course, started deep in their own territory, was able to get a long pass. Be able to put 3 points more on the board just before half, so that gives them a little rejuvenation.
McConnell's kick taken at the 11-yard line. And upfield with a great return is number 27, Trevor Coonson. He's out to the 38. And with 4 seconds left, the Govs get one more shot. Coming up at the half, we'll talk with Steve Keeter. We'll also talk with Bonham head coach Russ Morrell. And Mark Oben is trying to run down Steve Keeter. And he's down there right now with him. Mark?
Thanks, Gary. Steve, it's really gone the way you wanted it to here in the first half. Your kids haven't made mistakes, and, of course, you came up with some big plays on defense, which allowed your offense to move downfield.
Yeah, we've had some key turnovers there that we were able to convert, but we've been stumbled around here a little bit the second quarter, and I'm getting concerned because I know they're a good offensive team, and they're going to start getting things cracking here, and we've got to start executing.
Pierre had a chance twice deep in your territory to get back in the game. Had they scored there, I think it would have given them momentum. Big defensive plays by your team, especially on 4th and short, kept them from getting in the end zone.
Yeah, it was, Mark. And our defense has been rising to the occasion today. They've gave us the ball. They've made key plays on 4th downs, and we've been able to convert. So that's why we've got the lead right now. But we can't sit back because that Pierre team's going to come out ready to go.
Talk about the way Chris Sitzman runs. He just, the guy, I swear, he'll never get knocked over backwards.
Yeah, he always seems to, no matter what's there, he falls forward. He's just an outstanding athlete.
What do you have to do at halftime now? You're up 24-0. Certainly you like to be in that position, but you don't want your kids to get complacent either because you know that Pierre has a lot of weapons.
Oh, yeah. No, right now it's key. We got the ball when we come back out. It's key. That opening drive is going to tell the picture, and we've got to be able to control the ball. We're having some problems with procedures, some jumping around in there, and we got to get that sorted out. They're doing a little shifting now on us, and we'll get it taken care of, but we got to move the ball this first drive.
You really don't like close games, do you?
I just do not have one, no.
Gary, back up to you. They haven't had a close game all year. It's really been an incredible season. Real tough task for the Governors in the second half. We'll talk to Ken when he comes back out of the locker room.
Okay, thanks a lot, Mark. A band of the day here is Aberdeen Central. And a little bit about them. Maybe not. We are going to take a timeout. We'll talk about the Aberdeen Band and other halftime festivities when we come back here at the Dakota Dome. Don't go away. We didn't get a chance to talk to Russ Morrell, the Bonham head coach, after that big game in the 11B title game, and Mark Oben has him now.
Well, thanks, Gary. Russ, first of all, we got to check on this now. Does the wife still love you? You said you went to talk to her.
Yeah, she said she did. Yeah, she said it was probably the best football game she's ever watched.
You know, that's kind of the way we were talking about it up in the booth. It was heartbreaking to lose, and yet, what can you say? Sioux Valley made some incredible plays, and it was just a great, great game. And I know it was hard for the kids, but maybe in a couple of years, they'll all look back and say, that was fun.
Well, they all said it was fun already, but, you know, it got down to that we couldn't get quite enough pressure on their quarterback, and, you know, their offensive line did a good job of keeping us out. We triple-teamed Hillary. We were just bound and determined he wasn't going to hit the last pass. And we had two kids that were at the receiver that caught the ball, but they reacted to him and not to the ball. But, you know, still, both teams were just damn exhausted when the ball game got over. I know in 16 years of coaching, 15 as a head coach, that I don't think I've ever had a team that played with that kind of intensity level for 4 quarters like those guys did tonight.
Well, and not only was it an incredible game in terms of the emotion, but, you know, we had a tragedy happen here in the field, and I guess I have to say that it was very difficult for the fans, for the announcers, certainly was for me, and for the players to even come back out and play football when you saw what had happened, and we don't know at this point the condition of the official that did collapse. And what kind of an effect did that have on your kids?
Well, number one, you know, they were stunned. They really were. And, you know, we told them that you know, that they were taken into the hospital, and that's all we knew at that time. That was all that we knew, you know, and that it was apparent that he had had a heart attack. One of our players, Westbrook, was behind him. He said, I just watched him turn. He just grabbed his chest and fell down. And, you know, life is cruel, you know, and it really makes you wonder, you know, it really is only a game. And it's not life or death for us, you know. It's here to have a good time. And when something like this happens, it really makes you sit back and wonder about, you know, what perspectives are in life.
You said this has been probably the most fun you've had in all the years coaching at Bonham. You've had some great football teams, but the style in which you guys played to get here and the way you played tonight, it really appeared as though you had fun, the kids had fun, and again, you're smiling, you're happy. You're not supposed to be that way after you've lost a championship game, and yet it's apparent that, again, win or lose, you still were out there having a good time.
Well, number one, we've always told our kids that we're here to have a good time and that we're not here to make college athletes, like I talked with you before the ballgame. And, you know, win or lose, somebody's going to win or lose, and there's going to be a time in life, and we try to put it always in perspective with life that somebody's going to do something better than you. And, you know, if you're in your job and somebody does something better, well, then you've got to work a little harder to get back at it. And, you know, for myself, you know, I've had some good teams at Bonham. I had some good teams at Burke when I was there. My thing is that God has blessed me with a lot of young people to work with and education. And I know we ranked 50th or 51st in the nation as far as teacher pay. But I tell you what, I wouldn't change my position as a coach or an educator for anything right now. Every day you get up and it's a lot of fun. And like I say, these kids are just a great bunch of people to work with. Young kids of today are.
Congratulations.
Thank you so very much for covering a ball game for us. We appreciate that.
Hey, it was my pleasure, believe me. And Gary, I guess I just want to send this up to you, and in fact, to those who maybe have just joined us. Our prayers are still with Doug Kester of Pierre. We'll try to update you on the situation, and it really does point out the fact that it is only a game, and boy, life can be cruel because maybe we didn't all know Doug as personally as his family, but our heart goes out for his family right now, and again, he's in our prayers. Let's send it back up to you upstairs.
All right, thanks a lot, Mark. The band of the day here as we move along is Aberdeen Central. They played for both games, and a little bit about that band. The 110 members of this band have been very active not only as a pep band, but as a marching band, 2 concert bands, and supports 2 jazz bands. Some of the awards the band has received are 1987 Class AA winners of the parade and field competitions at Northern State and Dakota Colleges, the 1988 Class AA Northern State Parade competition winners, and last month they tied for 3rd place in Class AA at the Optimist Field competition in Brookings. These students are active in the regional solo and ensemble contests, as well as the large group contest. The jazz bands have been active in attending jazz festivals across the state. The director, you saw him earlier, Jerome Letcher, and Dennis McDermott, have been active for many years in the field of music education. One of both of them have been involved in community bands, musicals, the Aberdeen and Watertown Big Bands, music camps, and church organizations. The Aberdeen Central High School Band. All right. Well, Joe, let's look back at the first half highlights, and it was dominated by O'Gorman as they lead at 24-0. And early game, Pierre makes the first mistake. They fumble in their own territory, and O'Gorman comes up with a fumble. And Chad McConnell will make the nice run down to the 6-yard line, and O'Gorman took right off, taking advantage of the turnovers. And that set up the first score. Chris Sitzman powers over, and O'Gorman with the extra point. They lead 7-0. Next possession, Pierre makes mistake number 2. Fumble again on O'Gorman. He gets deep in Governor territory, and Sitzman goes over from 2, his second touchdown, and the Knights open up a 14-0 lead. And now it's the O'Gorman defense who makes another big play. Lance Fanning intercepts a Pierre pass, and they stymie another Governor drive. Chad McConnell completes one of his few passes. He'll throw tonight to Jay Hollenbeck with a great catch right there. And that sets up, you got it, Chris Sitzman. He scores his 3rd TD. The game is now 21-0 O'Gorman after the first 4 quarters. Pierre finally gets a break. Hollenbeck fumbles, turn it over to the Govs, but O'Gorman's defense stiffens, and Pierre failed to score. They got it a field goal, and it's 24-0 at the half. Halftime statistically now for both clubs, and there you see it, the yards rushing, 100-yard advantage O'Gorman chalking up a few more passing yards, and offensively we've seen it on the scoreboard, dominating. Now, O'Gorman hurt with some penalties, but only for 19 yards, 4 of them. And 3 Pierre turnovers, a possession in favor of Pierre.
That's a big number. Those turnovers have all turned into touchdowns. 2-2 with O'Gorman didn't have to go very far. They did take the interception 80 yards after the interception.
All right, moving on now. There's a lot of pressure on the players and coaches during these football playoffs, and with the help of us televising the games, everybody's highly visible to thousands of viewers around the area, as well as the fans in the dome. But a few teams are afforded the luxury that, for the most part, remains behind the scene. The story of the high school trainer. When you're talking about high school trainers in South Dakota athletics, you're talking about only a handful. Just a few teams, and the majority of them in Class 11 AA even have one. The rest do without. And what that means is that the various coaches have to assume those duties. They include taping ankles, knees, shoulders, and generally administering to the players. Although it's an added burden, they still have to know what they're doing.
Well, it would be nice to have one, but you end up with a lot of your assistants taping, and then, like right now, you know, when we're coming out to practice, you don't have them out on the field. You got them taping, and as the season goes on, we probably end up taping half our kids, either an ankle or a thumb or something like that. So it probably takes a half hour at the beginning of each practice to get them all taped.
You have to have a course in athletic injuries to even be a coach in South Dakota. And over the years, you pick up quite a few hours doing that. You try to keep up with the latest thing out, but it's hard to do.
It's a burden, but it's something I think over the years of coaching you get used to. In fact, you just consider it to be a part of it there, and you take an interest in the kids, so you're concerned about the injuries, so you realize. And the advantage of it, when you take care of the kid rather than a trainer, you know probably what his capabilities are also, and how far, and what he can do in practice. So for that part, I'm used to it.
Real aspect, a good game on right? Yeah. Another 100 yards plus game.
So what about the real trainers? Take Sioux Falls, Washington's Denny Thompson. Thompson's held that position with the Warriors for 22 years, and it's something he thoroughly enjoys.
I got into it by going to a lot of clinics in the early days and picking up a lot of things. Now you go to college and there are classes in it, in athletic training. And at the time I was going, there wasn't. It's gotten to be a pretty big thing. And the kids coming out of college nowadays are well qualified for it. But like I said, I picked up my training, on-the-job training, and then through the clinics that were offered.
Being a high school trainer isn't in itself a full-time job. It's only another part of an already full day.
Yeah, I teach 4 classes, and then I have a study hall at Washington. I have a full day at homeroom, and I put in my time down there. And then my seventh period of the day is my free hour, and I generally come out here. Because you get to meet a lot of the kids, you know, and you actually get to know them from the time they're a sophomore, and then come on up to the junior and senior. And by senior, you know, you know most of them pretty well, and there's a little bit of a change that goes on these kids. It's a big difference between a senior and a sophomore.
While being a trainer has its serious responsibilities, there is a limit to what he can do.
None of us have a whole lot of ability to diagnose what's wrong, but we can tell, you know, if the guy can be moved, if we can get him to the clinic, or if he's okay, just stand over there, shake it off. You know, we've been around long enough to be able to figure that much out. And aside from that, we can't do any more. We usually give a call to Dr. Billion.
About all we can do is just give, like if it's a severe injuries, basic first aid. We can splint it. We have some air splints that we carry, and we splint it and usually transport them and let the doctors do the work.
I wish we would have, would be best, like the larger schools where they have a qualified trainer. Now, I know some area schools that are not much larger in Gary, they do have qualified trainers. And I think that is the answer. I really do. And we have to use quite a bit of discretion when we treat the injuries, and we're aware of that.
It's a common sense type of a thing. It's a deal where, you know, a little bit of experience or a lot of experience comes into play, and common sense mainly.
We'll be back with the second half right after this.
Good evening. This is Kellerland News. Kessler collapsed on the field in the middle of the third quarter of the Sioux Valley Bonham football game at the Dakota Dome. He's from Pierre. In the Iowa Lotto, the winning numbers are 12, 17, 20, 27, 28, and 34. The jackpot is $1 million. Now this for Lakeside Dairy.
The Lakeside 2-pack. The economy of a jug with the convenience of paper. Fresh to the last drop. A tasteful difference of Lakeside.
I'm Sarah Jarvis. We'll have more tonight on the big news after the game.
Back live at the Dome. Let's go down with Ken Koistinen.
Thanks, Gary. Ken, some early mistakes just killed you.
They sure did. We left the ball laying on the ground a couple times there, and O'Gorman's too good a football team to do that against. So they shoved them right down our throat. After a start like that, I guess we finally got a little squared away right there at the end. They're awful tough on defense, and we just aren't getting much done on offense, but we're not ready to quit yet. We're going to fight them out through the second half.
Is there enough time for you to do the things that maybe are you going to adjust to more of a passing game? Is there enough time for you to make that adjustment down 24 points?
Well, if we could get things going the way we've had them going during the year, there's definitely time to score 24 points, but our defense has to stop them at the same time too. So it's a tough situation, but we're not ready to give up yet.
I know you've only been behind a couple of times and by certainly not this many points. What kind of feeling did you get from your kids in the locker room at halftime? Disgust? Hurt pride? What's the feeling?
I think just what you said. Their pride was hurt, and they were mad at themselves, but they realized that we're up against a good football team. We just have to hang in there and do the best we can.
Okay, good luck in the second half, Ken. Back up to you, Gary. 24-0 at halftime. Again, that's a big hill to climb, especially against a team that likes to play with big leads.
Sure is, Mark. Statistically, in the first half, we showed you the team stats, but overall, O'Gorman just dominating on the ground, and it's split up pretty evenly as far as who's getting the heavy load running the ball. McConnell, 62 yards, Sitzman, 56, Kunkel, 35. And late in the second quarter there, McConnell aired it out a little bit and picked up 78 yards passing. Schneider of Pierre leading the ground game for the Governors with 46 yards and 10 carries. And that's about it for Pierre.
And the record is 164 by Tim Jurgens from O'Gorman. So he's real close to breaking that total offensive mark here in the second half.
Pierre will kick off to the Knights this time. Obviously something I'm sure they'd like to change around and get their ball back, the ball back on their hands, but they're going to have to give it up, and their defense is going to have to come through and get their pride back on their side and start feeling good about themselves. Brad Huntley will kick off, number 86 for the Govs. And back deep is Brad Jones and Jay Hollenbeck. And they're on about their 10-yard line, a short kick. And it's taken by number 22 for O'Gorman, Lance Fanning, and he's out of bounds at the 32. And that's where the Knights will take over.
Well, 1st and 10. Now we'll see what O'Gorman's got in their game plan and what adjustments they've made at halftime, if any. I think the big thing they want to try to do is take some of those penalties and get back to just playing their hard-nosed football like they used to.
Ball marked on the 33. Fumble. And it appears McConnell. Bad snap just fell right back on top of it. So the exchange a little difficult.
I don't know what happened there. He just didn't get the ball back to Chad McConnell, and he dropped it.
So 2nd down and 10. McConnell tucks it under, trying to turn the corner, and great pursuit. Great defensive surge by Pierre and number 62, Jamie Rounds. He averaged almost 10 tackles a game.
That Medley got out in front of that, really had a good block at the corner, but Rounds snuck in from behind everybody and came in with a little bit of a short gain. 3rd down and 7. 3rd and 6.
The Knights on their own 37. And Kunkel again in motion. McConnell there it out. Heavy rush. He gets it out to Sitzman, and the wall is set up. And Sitzman, flag on the play. Might be a face mask, and he's down to the 35-yard line, but Pierre was coming.
Well, they were coming like gangbusters. I thought Fort Mac's going to get hit from the blind side. He didn't see him coming, but they had the perfect play call for it. The screen, he dumped it off.
We got a clip against O'Gorman. Great run by Sitzman. And we'll mark this off 15 from where the play ended.
Still be a first down.
The ball now goes back to the Gorman 49. But we're going to watch McConnell again and watch the Govs coming after him. Pretty good lick from Troy Bushbaum. Still first down, and Sitzman only got a couple.
Sitzman trying to run off Matt Medley's and Ryan Folsom's blocks over on the weak side. Picked up 3.
The Knights again in Pierre territory on the 47. McConnell again tucks it under, and he's tripped up at the 43, and he's going to be a couple yards short.
Jason Culberson got up, got the tackle. 3rd down and 2. They try to run those plays in series. You got the first they gave it to Sitzman going off left guard, then they faked him. Of course, come with McConnell keeping the ball.
Nothing O'Gorman. If you're just joining us, we're in the 3rd quarter, 3rd down and 2 for the Knights. And Sitzman stacked up, but his forward progress might give him the first down. And that it does. So Sitzman with the surge at the end. And he's going in with a first down at the Pierre 40. Kunkel again in motion. He gets the call, and he's got some room. A gain of a nice 8-yard run. Or excuse me, Hollenbeck.
So again, O'Gorman's back to their just power football. They're just trying to come off one-on-one and block people and open up some holes, which they've been doing.
Hollenbeck got a good block from Chris Sitzman in there. And that allowed him to pick up 7 yards. The 2nd down and 3 from the 33. This is Kunkel in motion. McConnell rolling out. He tucks it under. Almost tripped up behind the line of scrimmage, but McConnell's going to be close to a first down. And number Bushbaum there making the stop.
Well, McConnell got wrapped pretty good. He got the choker hold put on him as he's coming around the corner there.
There you see Troy Bushbaum, and
Chad McConnell has set a new record for total offense, 178 yards. Broke the old record of 164, and it's still a quarter and a half to go yet.
Pitch back to Hollenbeck. And he just fights his way down to the 20.
There's a fumble, I think, on that play.
Came right back up in Jay's hands, and another first down. They're darn close to it.
I think that's about the first time we've seen him actually turn and run the sweep, trying to get the ball outside. Most of it's been off tackle running. We got Sitzman.
And Metley again, and number 56 for
Mike
Pierre.
Kaiser. Mike Kaiser's out front trying to make the play go. Here's Sitzman.
Sitzman's got a first down. And he's down to the 12, maybe 13.
I don't care what side of the ball you're on. There's some hard hitting going on out there. You can hear the pads just crack up here.
Clock to O'Gorman's advantage at this point, running with 7 minutes to go in the third. 24-0, the Knights leading Pierre. McConnell. He's inside the 5, at the 4, and out of bounds. So the all-important first drive of the second half for O'Gorman is
looking pretty good right now. They've kept the ball for almost 5.5 minutes. Again, it's been just power football they've been ramming at him. No passes.
Here's Sitzman, and he's going to be down at the 1.
So you've got a first down, man.
Yep. There you see the signal, and it's just that. So it'll be first down, goal to go, and only a yard away. And you saw Troy Bushbaum. They're working hard. The Governor's doing all they can to try to stop Sitzman.
The other thing is, of course, this pounding. You keep this pounding going, it starts wearing you down defensively.
Sitzman is in again. And makes it a 30-0 lead.
6:21 left in the third quarter. Wow, look at the blocking up front. They've got people pushed out there. Look at Matt Metley's block.
Brian Folsom
again. A block on Troy Stolken that just opened up a big hole for Chris Sitzman to score on.
Peter Sanchez in and kicks the extra point. And he's perfect. 31-0. O'Gorman leads in the third. You're watching the O'Gorman Knights, who have just put together an impressive drive and ate up a lot of the clock here in the third quarter. 6:21 to go, and it's 31-0, and they'll kick off once again to the Governors. And from his 2-yard line, Jason Culberson. And he gets outside and keeps his balance nicely and gets out to the 25. And Culberson wants a late hit, but he's not going to get it. So the Governors again searching to find their offense.
On that last touchdown, O'Gorman has just set a record for the championship game in 11 AA for the most points scored, and Sitzman has set a new record for the most points scored. Individual and team records there. O'Gorman now has 321 yards in total offense.
There you saw a concern.
That's also a new record.
A concerned Ken Koistonen on the Pierre sideline. And his club has yet to do much offensively. John Rapp again in motion. Oh, Matt Metley.
Well, that's the adjustment that O'Gorman has made to the little motion and trying to run that fullback out the weak side. They started to slant everybody in that direction, and of course Merkwan was trying to keep it, ended up losing the yardage on the play.
Merkwan, Metley just walked right in, and Merkwan, before he had time to even think, was in his grasp. Lost of 5 on the play, second down and 15, and it goes back at their own 20. Wrapped up by Metley again, and
that was Nelson that time. We haven't seen him carry the ball much tonight.
Well, we don't seem to be seeing any type of emotional letdown by O'Gorman.
No, not right now. They're playing with pretty good intensity. They had a good drive for their touchdown, and now the defense has risen to the occasion.
14 plays on that scoring drive. There it is, 5.5 minutes.
Well, it's hard to have a 14-play drive.
Cubs going to the air. Merklon rolling out. And Justin Henderson brought down Trent Merklon.
Well, they lined up and were coming after him then, weren't they?
So now faced with 4th down and 22 to go. And the Govs will punt it away. Brad Jones will go back deep for the Knights along with Aaron Ferry.
Brad Jones has had a couple of returns for touchdowns this year. He's done a good job returning punts for him all year long. Good snap.
Jeff Gross in again on the punt. Ferry takes it at midfield, and he's met instantly and brought down by number 33, Travis Retrum. We'll take a timeout. 3.5 to go in the third quarter.
When it came time to name our new family of fruit juices, we kept it simple and to the point. Lakeside's best. Another tasteful difference from Lakeside Dairy.
Wrap up holiday shopping Western style with a trip to Boots & More. Choose from hundreds of pairs of name brand boots for men, women, and kids. Everybody can use a new pair of Lee or Levi jeans. Complement them with a warm flannel shirt and a good-looking sport coat. Top off Christmas with a Bailey felt hat. There's no telling what you'll find in a box from Boots & More in the North Cliff Plaza next to Mr. Big and Tall.
Looking at one of the O'Gorman cheerleaders. Not that excited at this moment of the evening, but...
well, they were sitting with a 31-0 lead with 3:31 left to go in the third quarter, so they should be used to this by now. This is the way most of their games have gone. They've only really had one tough ball game in the year, and that was Sioux City East. Sioux City East gave them a tough battle late in the season, and they finally scored a couple touchdowns late to pull it out and win by a good score. But most of their games have been just like this.
Knights take over in midfield. This is Kunkel. And a fine run.
Yeah, they got Sitzman going in there with the dive. They just fake him with that trap up the middle, gives the tailback coming behind it. Good blocking up front. Again, I emphasize, if you want to watch good line play, watch that line come off the ball. Here come the two pulling guards. Look at the blocks.
Called Matt Metley's number a lot, and he's number 60, and
Matt's had a good fine ball game for all we can tell up here anyway. Oh, there he is.
Wide open.
Folsom. He's got it. Touchdown.
A 36-yard scoring strike. McConnell to Ryan Folsom.
Well, that's what that running game does to you. They run so darn well, and they're able to just sucker everybody up there, and all of a sudden they come and play action, and there are 80 defenders back there. They're all looking for the run. Chad McConnell's having one fine night.
He's on the money, and Folsom was all alone. Jason Culberson was there, but not close enough. 37-0. Peter Sanchez on again to kick an extra point.
Connell just broke the record for total offensive yardage. Again, Tim Durgan's held it.
And again, Sanchez is on the money. 38-0 O'Gorman.
McConnell's also had 141 yards passing tonight. That breaks the old record of 128 yards. Set by O'Gorman back in 1982.
There you see the O'Gorman fans.
Well, they come to life here.
Well, I guess it was Saturday Night Fever so far.
Now the Pierre Governor fans, they're up on their feet cheering their team too. They're proud of them. It's been a long night tonight, but they've had a good season.
To go in the third quarter. 46-yard line. Jason Culberson, and he's got a hole. A great return by Jason Culberson to the 41-yard line. 35-yard return for Jason Culberson.
Jason might set a record for a return yardage here tonight. He's had some fine returns on those kickoffs.
And he's walking off limping just a little. You watch it again. Dodged a bullet there, a couple more. Had some blockers in front of him, and off he was. McConnell eventually had to help make the tackle. And the Govs take over on their own 42-yard line. Flag has been thrown. Merkwan tucks it under, and he's out to the 47. But there's the flag. Brad Jones making the stop. Offsides against O'Gorman. Take the penalty in.
Nope. That way. That way.
First down and
First down and 5.
After a 7-yard pickup, that's negated. The penalty takes in. And Merkwan again. He's got a room around the corner. But a nice tackle slowed down by Jeff Gross. Slowed down Merkwan. But he got a couple, maybe a yard on the play, maybe 2. And Merkwan has taken a beating tonight. He's getting up slow. And another flag. And it appears personal foul penalty. And it looks like Bruce Weiss, number 44, was taken out of the ball game. And Steve Keeter's wondering what's going on.
They may have thrown him out of the game. They mouthed off to the official.
You know, I think NFL teams should do that. NFL
sure
officials.
solve a lot of problems.
Those guys, the NFL players, they, I think those NFL guys get away with murder. So Bruce Weiss has been ejected from the game, and the Governors with the penalty. First down and 10, and they're at the O'Gorman 36. Merkwan pitching outside. He's got a man. And down to the 30 is number 28. Or was that 26?
26, that's Nelson.
He was moving so fast I didn't see that.
Very Nelson.
6 missed the
Flare out, picked up about 7 yards. Well, maybe Pierre's going to put together a driver and get some points. We'll see what happens. 2nd and 3.
Clock down to a minute and a half to go in the 3rd quarter. The Govs on the O'Gorman 29. Pitch back again to Terry Nelson, and he's going to be close to a first down. And things are getting a little messy downstairs. O'Gorman has called a timeout, and it's not the clock with 1:05. And we'll do the same. Stay with us.
Spencer Furniture presents Sofa Magic.
Observe closely, please. Before your very eyes, this shabby, old, worn-out sofa will be transformed into a thing of beauty. There's nothing up the sleeves. And now for the magic word, Spencer Furniture Sofa Trade-In. And voila, it's like magic. Spencer's will give you a $100 trade-in when you buy any new sofa from their huge selection. Just remember the magic word, Spencer's Trade-In. Spencer Furniture, 12th and 1st, downtown Sioux Falls.
You know, to win in business today, you got to stay a few steps ahead of your competition. That's what Blue Cross Blue Shield is doing here in South Dakota. They got more health plans than anybody. So just one company can give you enough choices to make everybody happy. Uh-oh.
Sir, is anything wrong? I smell smoke.
No, everything's just fine. Oh, boy. When you've got Blue Cross Blue Shield, you can spend your time running the company, not putting out fires.
Blue Cross and Blue Shield, first in coverage for South Dakota.
We are back at the Dome. The Governor's 1st and 10 on the O'Gorman 25-yard line, knocking on the door, and a little flea flicker again. Coming back to Merkwan. And Merkwan goes in from 25 yards out. A great play.
Good play. The old action throw back to the quarterback. Nobody was there. And it gives the Pierre Governor a student body down below as a reason to cheer, and they're hoping it up.
Steve Schneider, perfect toss to Merkwan, and he did the rest. Rod Hunsley in to kick the extra point for the Govs, and there you see the Governor's cheering section, and Hunsley missed the extra point, but it's now 38-6. So the Govs get on the board with 57 seconds left to go in the third quarter. And for only the second time in the game, the Knights have to line up to receive a kick. There you see Rod Huntley, number 86, to kick off. It's interesting, his shoes, most kickers wear a kicking shoe of some sort, but he's got a pair of running shoes on.
And on this turf, though, most of the players do wear just plain tennis shoes. That's better than turf shoes. Oops, there's another.
The Knights let the ball slip by to the 5. They're down to the 3, and Brad Jones trying to cut inside, and he's brought down to the 13, and the Govs are fired up. And that's where O'Gorman will take over. Now mark it on the 15, and that's where O'Gorman will take over. As you see the Pierce scoring drive, 4 plays. They went 58 yards in just over 2 minutes. And Trent Merkwan goes in from 25 yards out. Hand off to Jay Hollenbeck, and he barrels his way to the 25 and should have enough for a first down.
Yeah, that's the way to answer a touchdown. He's coming out and just blow you away for about 10 yards the first play.
Jay Hollenbeck, during the summer, he's a calf roper and steer wrestler.
You know, he's really a top-notch radio guy, I guess, here in South Dakota.
He is. Sitzman's tripped up at the 30. And they got about 4 yards on the play. The horn sounds here at the Dakota Dome, and we've got 12 minutes of football left in this year's South Dakota High School Championships. We're going to take a timeout and be right back with that final quarter.
A nationally respected heart center can't be built overnight. A staff of physicians educated in the nation's leading medical centers must first be gathered. An elite corps of nurses and technologists must surround them. Through thousands of procedures, this team must earn respect throughout the region. In Sioux Falls, the standard has been met. A nationally respected heart center has been built at Sioux Valley Hospital, the forefront of discovery.
You want to do that thing with Wade? Back live at the Dome, and about ready to start the final quarter. And Mark Overton is down on the field. Yeah, you're on the Gorman side, 20-yard line there. I see you.
His helmet here. He got in a car accident here about a week and a half ago. He was trying to avoid a dog driving his car, and he's got a plastic shield on his mask here. His face got up pretty good. He hit the windshield, and, of course, he's using this as protection. Didn't even play in the semifinal game, so we've had stories all throughout the tournament. The kids playing with broken hands and this and that. Wade was pretty lucky. His eye even got kind of banged up, but he didn't want to miss this for anything. So you see this in the NFL with guys getting poked in the eyes. Well, Wade Shaver has found this as a way to keep his face from being protected, and he's here playing in the game for O'Gorman.
Thanks, Mark. He's also, Wade is also a red belt in Taekwondo.
A what?
Red belt.
What's a red belt?
Different levels of...
Well, I know, but I've never heard of... They never mentioned red belts.
Well, I didn't think so either, but just said this. He wrote down in his biography the red belt.
Maybe they go with his blue pants.
You see Ken Koisten and timeout called on the field. One of the officials had cramps in his legs, and just like the football players, most of these guys are used to running outside in the cold weather all year long, and then they come inside the dome and work up a pretty good sweat, and it doesn't help playing on the no-give carpet, and the old bodies just kind of freeze up on them. We're going to take a time out here before we get ready to start the quarter with O'Gorman leading.
What can you get for $1 these days? Not a lot unless you're spending it on electricity, because with $1 you can buy 2 cans of pop, or you can
Wash 11 sink loads of dishes, brew 65 pots of coffee, use a slow cooker for 56 hours, and make 101 pieces of toast. Wash 44 loads of clothes, run an electric clock for 8 months, heat 50 gallons of water, or keep warm with an electric blanket every night for nearly 3 weeks. Use a curling iron, heating pad, shaver, electric toothbrush for an entire year. Watch a color TV for 44 hours, or listen to your stereo for 3 days straight.
So you see, you can still stretch $1 if you know where to spend it. Electricity from your rural electric cooperative. We put value on the line.
We're back live at the Dome and waiting for one of the officials to come out of the training room and get work done. And let's check in down to the field again with Mark Overton.
Just, Gary, a case of leg cramps, similar as what the players have had. They're going to go without him. They feel like they can continue the game with 4 officials, and they're well aware of what the problem is. If he can get it rubbed up and get back out here, fine. But just leg cramps.
He'll probably feel him tonight, too, laying in bed about 4 in the morning and wake up screaming. About three days later, he won't be able to go to work. That is the worst feeling in the world. Here's Tim Kunkel, and oh, my. He's got a first down to the 40-yard line.
O'Gorman just got their 19th first down of the game. Well, that sets a new record. They're setting all kinds of records here tonight. They also have 243 yards rushing. This possibly broke the rushing record of 251.
A lot of
the 88 teams going to be in that book in a lot of ways.
Oh, yeah. Well, they're not the only club that has set tons of records this weekend. Cologne
Look
did
at the hard running that they're doing.
The Knights out at their own 40-yard line. And getting the call is Sitzman, and he just rambles over to the 46, and he'll be about 4 yards shy of the first down.
You know, when you see a team that comes out the ball and is able to move the ball as well as they do, you have to give credit to the offensive line. I think we should at this time. Ryan Folsom, number 80, the tight end or the receiver on the weak side. He's a junior. Matt Medley is a senior. Chris Lamberty is a senior. Wade Garrett's a junior. Justin Honnison a junior. And Mike McGreevy a junior. 4 of the 6 will be back next year.
As you had a chance to look at the quarter stats there, pretty much tells the story. McConnell rolling outside. He's got nowhere to go. Good pursuit by Jason Culberson. He read that one all the way. And a loss of a couple on the play. McConnell got banged up a little bit. He should be able to walk it off, and holding his left shoulder, his left